All right. A lot of people talk about peptides. Peptides are amazing. They can do all kinds of cool stuff. Uh, Probably the thing that I don't hear people talking about enough is why peptides work. So peptides basically tell the body to do something. They're signaling molecules. They tell the body to heal. They tell the body to produce growth hormone. They tell the body to, use glucagon to burn fat. But in that, they tell the body to shift into a fat burning mechanism. And that's what everybody's like. What's one of the main reasons people are taking peptides is to lose fat. Well, if you shift your body from a glucose burn into a fat burn, your body's going to start requiring different things. And here's the big crux of where everything is. This is why GLP-1s have become dangerous and having problems with them. This is why people are taking peptides and not getting results. This is why people get some results, but not as good as others. When you tell your body to do a thing, it has to have the components to do the thing. So, for instance, if you tell the body to start using fat as a fuel source and you don't have enough bile, you're going to have gallbladder issues. You're going to have liver issues. You're going to have bile absorption issues. So that's the thing. So you got to make sure that you have the components for your body to make bile. Methylated B vitamins are a big player of this. Methylated B6. If you don't think you're going to be able to produce enough, you need to take an outside source so that your body can do the thing you're asking it to do. If you're like, hey, body, burn fat, and you're like, but it's like, I don't have any of the tools to burn fat. Like, I don't know what to do. You're going to have problems. So that's a big issue, because what ends up happening is that when you tell your body to burn fat, but it doesn't have the ability to burn it, it will eat your muscle tissues to create sugar so it can run on that. And so that's the problem we're running into. So as we go through this, make sure that you guys are getting in the nutrients that are required to do something. So, I like my bake a cake example. If you tell somebody to bake a cake, but they don't have any eggs, you can tell them to bake a cake as much as you want to. They're not going to be able to bake a cake. And if they do try to bake a cake, it's not going to turn out the way you wanted it to. So, nutrient deficiency is still the number one reason people are getting sick. It's still the number one reason people are not getting their goals. That's the big thing. So, make sure that when you guys are taking the peptides, that you're giving your body the entire complement of what you need. This goes back to the core, really important function about peptides, stem cells, supplements, the whole deal. Nothing can heal the body. Nothing can fix the body but the power that made the body. And so what ends up happening is that you're giving the tools to the power that made the body to do the thing. If you don't give it all the tools, all the building blocks, all the things that it requires, it can't really do the job you're asking it to do. So recognize what you're doing. When you put a peptide in, you're not causing a thing to happen. You're asking the body to do a process. If it doesn't have the tools and the mechanisms and the nutrients to do the process, it can't do it very well. So, this is the whole point when we start looking at DNA. We start seeing like, oh, you have MTFHR. What is MTFHR? MTFHR is where your body doesn't make enough methylated folic acid. It's critical for a lot of things in the body. The brain and spinal cord form because of methylated folic acid. Your brain regenerates, your colon regenerates, mucous membranes regenerate and heal because of methylated folic acid. If you don't have enough, and you tell the body, hey, do this thing, it breaks down. So there's a lot of function that we have to make sure that, okay, not only are we telling the body to do a thing, but we're making sure the body has enough nutrients to do this thing as well. And here's the thing, water and sleep are both nutrients. Look at it that way. They're technically, net water is, but sleep's technically not a nutrient, but think of it that way. If you're not getting enough sleep, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're taking all these peptides to do all this work. And most of it, if you're trying to burn fat and build muscle tissue, your muscle tissue is being built at night. So if you're not sleeping properly, if you're not breathing properly at night, peptides are going to help a little bit, but they're not going to get you where you want to go. Fixing your sleep apnea would be wildly more beneficial to most of you than taking a little, some oral in at night. Just from a overall health and overall muscle gain and function like that. So keep that in mind. Like I said, peptides are great. We have all this research. I'm not doubting the research. There's a lot of people who are claiming a lot of things, not arguing that what they're saying can't be true. What I'm telling you is that it isn't going to be as effective if you don't have the nutrients your body requires to do the job you're asking it to do. So your diets can play a big role. If you're not going to be able to eat this stuff because you're on a GLP-1 or Dreta or whatever, because you're just not hungry anymore, you're going to have to supplement for it. Because again, I don't care how hungry you are. Your body has to have the chemicals, the tools to do the job you're asking it to do. So just make sure that you, one, are giving it those nutrients, and two, if you can get them from food, that's best. But if you can't, you're going to have to supplement. So keep that in mind. It's really, really important. Make sure that you guys have fed the entire system all the way through. This kind of goes back to why I'm such a big calories aren't real type of thing. Because if you think the body runs on calories, you've missed literally everything about metabolic biochemistry, because calories have no chemical structure. They're not a real thing. And so if you go, oh, okay, well, what does my body run on? Your body runs on adenosine triphosphate, ATP. Oh, how does it make it? Okay, now we're getting to the giant complex functionality of what your body needs from either glycolytic or lipolytic breakdown of these macronutrients into usable ATP form. So this is where all the NAD comes in, the CoQ10 comes in. This is where, all these things start fitting in. So if you don't have all these chemicals, all these minerals, all these things, you're just not going to get it done. So keep that in mind. If you guys have any questions, hit us up. Have a fantastic day.